Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. In this video we're just going to have a look at the World Arena this time round and what teams that I've built so far. So as you can see, I've done one challenge. I've got 14 out of a potential 15 for today. You get 5 attempts per day, plus then you can also go ahead and pick up 5 attempts with diamonds as well, so it's a total of 10. And as you can see, I've got my astral invites. I've got 9 of those, so I can use those. What I tend to do is I wait until the last 5-10 minutes of the season, and then I will use all of my attempts. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to save up these attempts as much as possible. And the reason for that is because on those last 10 minutes, that's where you truly decide where you come within the rankings for World Arena. Last time round, I got 14, so I hit 14. That was not bad. I was kind of aiming for the top 10, but not really. I know for a fact that there's a lot of people who are much stronger than I am, but it seemed to work out last time. So let's have a look at the teams that I've gone with. So let's challenge GD Gaza. Why not? And let's have a look at the team setups that I've gone for. So first things first, of course, we're going to try out Leviathan. The team setup that I've gone with is Merlin, Halicer, Leviathan as our monarchs. We do have 3 blessers as well. So we have an additional 500. Yeah, 500%, technically 500% HP for Arthur. That switches with Dahlia. Now the other two, Arthur and Dahlia, on the team, they are there to switch between themselves so that Arthur can power up as much as possible. Typically, I have found that Arthur, the longer the match goes on, the more likely it is for him to survive. He just gets so much HP and so much defense that it's very tough to get through. The only real way of beating him is corrode. But again, with the addition of the 3rd monarch to the team, you are looking at a very, very powerful team. Now, the reason that I've gone with Merlin over a unit like Ophelia, or over Victoria, or even over Cleo, over Doris, is because of the Monarch synergy that you get with these 3 at the back. Unfortunately, we don't have any Deviants on the team to pair with Leviathan. Could do with another Deviant Monarch for Dooms, but I think that'll be asking a bit too much. We do have 3 Royals in Arthur, Dahlia, and Leviathan. We have Monarchs 3, just gone through that. We have 2 Light Seekers, so Merlin and Halicer, and we have 2 Celestials, 1 Deviant as well for this team. I will go through my Hope Tree at the very end, so stick around for that, and then we'll go through it together. But for relics, I've gone with the Lance, I've gone with the Stun Hammer, and I've gone with the Demon Blade Whip as well for the additional HP. I've gone for 300% attack, plus an additional 20% of all allies as well, just something to keep in mind. So that's my first team. My second team, Mystifiers, I've gone with Tsukiyomi, of course, new unit. I've gone with Gaia, Catherine, what? You guys saw that then. It was supposed to be Mulan. So Catherine, Mulan, and Tsukiyomi, all strikers on this team. We have, of course, 5 Mystifiers on the team, 4 Royals in the form of Mulan, Tsukiyomi, Gaia, and Catherine. We've got 3 strikers, Tsukiyomi, Mulan, and Catherine. Now this does change when I'm defending. So instead of having Mulan and instead of having Catherine, the team looks a bit more like this. So having these 2 at the front, Dullahan and Talos at the front, and having our damage dealers at the back, this gives much more survivability to the team when defending. We want to do as much damage as we possibly can when attacking, and we want to take as little damage as possible when defending. So I've gone with my Underworld Key for my relics. So Underworld Key, Plague Bow, and Night's Edge for the relics themselves, just for the additional damage and the synergy between the relics and the actual synergy itself. And I've gone for the 300%er for Mystifiers as well for artifacts. Now, next team, I've gone with Elisha, Eudora, Wukong, Karnak, and Eluin. These all change places, so it doesn't matter the position of the team because of the Gourd. Now, Gourd, a lot of people have slept on Gourd, but please do not. After casting the relic for 2 rounds, all buffs received by our allies are doubled, which means that any HP and attack increases given by Elisha's buff is doubled. Any buff given by Eluin is doubled, and it's a very, very powerful combination, especially with Elisha. Wukong also procs from the gourd because of the switch mechanic, so very, very strong, and he does copy buffs as well. So that's what I've gone for. So first one is the Trident, then I've gone for gourd, and then the additional heals as well with Famine Scales. Now Famine Scales more of a Doom's relic than anything else, but I've decided to go with the HP up on this first team, given that Arthur deals damage equal to his HP, or 5% of his HP, whatever it is. So the higher his HP, the more damage he's doing reflect wise. We also have the artifact for this team, so I've gone for the 300% for ethereals as well. The primary purpose of this team is to get Eudora to attack. As soon as Eudora attacks, she ends up freezing the enemies. Very, very strong ability, but also increases attack and HP with Elisha's passive. Elisha's passive, in case you don't know, increases attack and HP based on crits. Very, very strong if you can crit. Karnak is here for the additional healing, and Eluin is here for the increased defense and also increased attack if you have her exclusive runes. So something to keep in mind there. The next team that I'm going for, so this is my 4th team, is Avengers. The reason that I've gone for the Avengers is because solely Aphrodite. Aphrodite is so strong. She is so toxic. I really dislike this unit. I hate this unit, to be honest. She just breaks all the rules. The fundamental rules of this game, she just breaks. I think she should be nerfed. I think that she should only be able to steal 1 unit per. So 1 unit per round, I think, is fair. So then at least then you've got a chance against this unit. But as it stands at the moment, she steals whenever she feels like it, or whenever an enemy dies. This is also propagated by Janna as well. So when our soldier dies, or when our stranger dies, Janna will gain attack increase, but also Aphrodite will steal an enemy as well. So something to keep in mind. I've gone for Althea. Althea is really, really important in this synergy. The reason for that is because otherwise it's just too slow. You only revive at the end or the start of the next round, and it's not good enough. You just end up dead with all 5 tombstones on the field without Althea. Althea allows you to return instantly. Mavis does come back again and again and again and again, and she will deal damage equal to attack to all enemies. So the higher her attack, the better it is for everybody. Finally, I've gone with Hey Kate. Hey Kate is the new unit from last season. She has actually quite impressed me. Don't think you need an additional striker on here. There's not really another striker on the team, which I think might be very relevant. But again, she needs a lot of healing, which is where putting her in a position like this slot 1. This slot 1, it could be very beneficial for it, and I'll go through that at the very end when I explain all of my choices, but for now we're going for the damage section here. Now, relics, I've gone for chest, I've gone for chest, I've gone for sphere, and I've gone for Hand of Tyr as well, because they are the most stable relics. If you don't have sphere, or you don't have it at a very high star level, you can always go with Blades of Chaos as well. And now I've gone for this. So for the first 3 rounds of battle, all allies take 50% less damage. This is for survivability. You need Janna to effectively survive for long enough so that she can build up her attack, usually by round 10, round 11, that she's at that point. But it also helps with Aphrodite as well, and Hey Kate's survival that I've found. So overall, we've got 5 Avengers on the team with our 3 Avengers relics. We have 4 Royals, not including Mavis. We have 3 Sacrifices. Sacrifices also increase HP, so increase the max HP of all allies. The increased amount is equal to 500% of the HP in position 1. So what you want to do is you want to find the hero with the highest HP, so something like this, and it'll increase your entire team's HP as well. So potentially having Janna in this position is actually a better fit for this team. because she is my highest star level on this team. She's currently at 11 stars. I think I'm one copy off getting it to 12 stars. So it is what it is. And then finally, the last team that I've gone for is Glorians. And the reason that I've gone with Glorians on this one is because of the overall lack of being able to be controlled. That is it, really. So I've got Chang from last season as well. Chang double ultimates provides a very, very powerful effect. If you take out the front line, she'll then go ahead and attack the back line as well. You also have Audrey. So Audrey will apply shields. Whenever she gets shield, the rest of the team also get, I think, 25% of that shield. And as well, whenever she is healed, with thanks to Seraphina and our other team builds as well, Audrey will increase her attack up to that 50 million mark. Again, it's very, very strong ability, where you just need time to build it up. And that's where Cleopatra comes in, providing holy shields to the entire team. If you don't have Cleopatra, you would run somebody like Gloria in this effect. So Gloria, you can run Lee, Lily and Leah, another one. Very, very strong. It gives that additional Monarch synergy as well. So you would have the 2 Monarchs at the front. But I've gone for Cleo primarily for the Holy Shield protection. And we have Seraphina, who will power up the entire team by round 2. Or technically round 3, depends on how strong your Seraphina is. But I found that Seraphina will pump up the Grace of Hunters skill to the max after 1 or 2 rounds, especially with the additional healing that we've got in there as well. And finally, Wuzatam. Wuzatam applies 75% damage reduction to all of our allies. If you have her exclusive runes. If you don't have her exclusive runes, you've got 75% chance of applying that 75% damage reduction. But as is, the 75% damage reduction is applied for me for the entire team. So getting that 75% damage reduction is very, very strong. Again, you could probably take out Chang and you can replace her with Lily and Leah, or you can replace her with Telenas if you don't have a copy of her. Again, so we have our 3 strikers on the team. We have Cleopatra, Seraphina, and Chang on the team. We have 5 royals, all of the units here. We have 5 celestials, very, very good. We have 5 Glorians, with thanks to our relics. The relics, I've gone for banner, I've gone for shield, and for the shielding that Audrey applies to the rest of the team. And I've gone for the chest, or the cauldron. Now, the cauldron stops damage being dealt to our entire team when it procs for a round, and then it deals damage equal to the team to this front line as well. Again, we're going for attackers this time. So if I were to go defenders, I would replace that with Lily. I would replace Chang with Lily and Leah. And that would make Cleo a Monarch as well. So very, very good for defending as well. You just need to change out 1 of the units on the team. Yeah, very, very strong. Now, we do have Blessers as well. So Audrey will receive an additional 500% HP. And we've got our strikers as well. So we increase attack by 25% every round. Hopefully this team can last long enough, which is why I've gone for the stun relic as well. So this, at the start of battle, applies stun to all enemies for 1 round. Basically, what that means is for our first round, we will get that for free. So we can start to build up very, very quickly. We won't lose any of our units on turn 1, which means that going into round 2, or round 2, Seraphina will be able to ultimate and increase our defense, which is going to be very, very important, and also our attack. So let's jump into battle. We don't have another next team. I've gone through all of the teams so far. So let's jump into battle. And then what I'll do after we've seen this battle, looks like it's going to be 3 rounds. So if we win this first round, we know that we've won the next 3. It looks like we have, especially given the increased reflect rate that Leviathan does provide, or Levy does provide. So we get the stuns off as well. Very, very good. I'm very much enjoying this team. The Monarch synergy really brings it out. Again, what you can do is, instead of Arthur, you could pop Cleo in this front slot, and then Dahlia would switch with Cleo, increasing attack even further. So yeah, very, very good. And I think we can go ahead and, oh, sorry. Oh yeah. Right, okay. Let's watch this again. Great, we rank up to Platinum 1. Excellent. But let's watch this match again. We've already seen this one. So let's watch match 2. We know that we win. just because there is only 3 nodes at the top. If we were going to go further, we would go, it would say at the top. But because we won the first match, we know that we've won the entire bout. Fortunately, we have applied all of that corrode right at the start. And because enemy is not running 2 Celestials, it just means that we are able to kill them all very, very quickly with corrode. An enemy is pretty much matching us for power. But as you can see, there are underlying powers or underlying toughnesses, attack increases, all that sort of stuff, which is allowing us to push through. And again, I'll go through my hope tree build at the end. It is one of the reasons that we are able to power through so quickly. So like I said, we get Eudora to attack just once, and it's absolutely game over. Typically, enemies cannot power back through. So we do get our Gourd trigger here, and Wukong does switch with our front row. We get Elisha on the front row as well. And now Wukong, hopefully, to finish Lily and Leah off. Yep, and that'll proc him once again. Unfortunately, no hit on Seraphina. It is what it is, and enemy does get a massive increase now. So yeah, this is, again, it's such a strong team. This is the team that keeps going 18 wins in a row. I've not seen this team lose in that tournament mode in GVG. But again, I've been wrong before, so if you can prove me wrong, if you can find a way of beating that team consistently, please do let me know down below in the comments. So we're not going to watch anymore. What we are going to do, I'm going to go ahead and claim this, jump into my hope tree, and then we're going to see these builds firsthand. So first things first, I've focused on energy on action. So I've maxed this out. This is 5 out of 5, and I have had 2 additional Azure beads as well, so I've been able to put these on. So increasing our max HP and HP gain as well. Second one, or second node, second position, I've gone 5 out of 5 again for this particular position because we do need to gain that energy as quickly as possible. Gaining that energy is key. Whoever gets to 200 energy first, or at least whoever gets to 100 energy with Grace of Shadows, is most likely to win the match. The additional dodge rate and the fact that you can ultimate based on that, that's why I've gone for energy on the positions 1 and positions 2. Now, I've gone for Grace of Hunters, of course, maxed it out, so 100% of healing received is converted into attack and defense, respectively, up to 250 million. And then I've also gone with Sharp Blade, so at the start of battle, increases the damage boost of all allies by 25%. This is really, really strong because it is an increase to base damage as well, which then gets all of the other damage stacks applied on top of it. So it's why I've gone for this one in particular. Then I've gone for 2 in Sharp Blade level node 1. And again, at the start of battle, a hero in position 3 gains 10% damage boost. It is what it is. You do need to go level 2 on this one and level 2 on this one in order to get this up to a max level. And the same is true of Grace of Shadows as well. So every 20 energy increases the dodge of all allies by 15%. This is for position 4. Each dodge consumes 100 energy. All allies cast an ultimate after dodge, dealing damage and applying stun for 1 round. That stun is so important. That's why I've put my 5th team as Glorians, so they avoid that stun for the first 8 rounds. Really, really strong, because you don't want to be left hanging. All of your entire team stunned after 1 Eudora ultimate. Very, very strong, very, very powerful. So that's why I've chosen to go with Glorians in position 5. Now, I have also gone to here. The damage reduction of all allies by 16%. Damage reduction cannot be understated. It is a very, very powerful effect. And one which I think you do need to prioritize. Again, I got this up to 2. I got this up to 2. So at the start of battle, hero in position 4 gains 4% damage reduction. So a total of 20% damage reduction. And then that got me up to max on here. I then decided to pump more into this AoE barrier as well. And finally, I've gone for energy on action on position 5. I don't think having Grace of Elysians will help and increase the damage boost. I don't think will help either. I did have a spare Sharp Blade, or I did have a spare Azure bead, so I've pumped it into the second node on here. But again, primary is to get energy on action as high as you can. I've not touched EX. I only have 1 team that uses the EX section, so it's not worth investing all of my funds or all of my Azure beads into this particular section, even though you do get Grace of Astrals at this, and you get Ultimate Familiar on here, enhances summon position, summon 40% damage boost and 10% damage reduction. Again, it's not super important, because if you're not running those teams, if you're not running one of the summoner units on every single one of your teams, then this section is most definitely not worth it. Now, this is the final section. This is the energy increase. So as you can see, on position 1, I've gone for level 3 energy increase. On position 2, I've gone for level 3 energy increase, and on position 5 as well. So all of our energy generators now gain an additional 60% energy, which is why we're able to get up to that 150 energy per round. And I think that when you get this up to level 5, you get this up to level 5, and you get this up to level 5, you're going to be hitting that 200 energy with absolutely no issues whatsoever. That's going to be proccing every single round. So potentially Grace of Claw then becomes a viable option, or even the banish mechanic becomes a very viable option. The reason that I think that is because when you get this up to max, you do banish for 5 rounds. The cooldown is still 1 round, which means that you can banish 1 enemy per round. If you can get to 200 energy by if you can get to 200 energy by the time round 1 finishes, then this will apply, and you can banish effectively within the first 5 rounds every single one of the enemy units. Now, typically they don't last longer than 5 rounds, these PvP battles, but you can effectively 1 per turn banish an enemy. So again, that is a viable option if you can get 200 energy per round, which is very difficult. As you can see, I've maxed out my energy production. The only resource I have left to me to max out is these energy nodes here, but again, I don't have enough. And finally, we have the proofs. Now, I have not invested anything in proofs this season. I just don't think it's worth it. I think that mixing and matching this season, there was quite a significant benefit to it last season. The reason for that is because Glorians, they had Grace of Hunters active on them, and you needed 2 Glorians within the team in order to activate that Grace of Hunters. Whereas this season, you do not. This season, you do not need Glorians on the team. You don't need, for Grace of Shadows, you don't need Ethereals on the team. So invested in these proofs, albeit good, I don't think it is the priority. I think this energy gain is the priority this season. And I think that the Grace of Hunters as well and Grace of Shadows are currently the best. If I can get myself up to max energy every single round, then then the banish mechanic becomes effective, and Grace of Claw also becomes very effective. So midway through the season, I think we're going to chop and change. We're going to see how effective these are with full energy production or energy production maxed out. I think that over the course of the season, we'll see more Banish and more Grace of Claw, but I think that you will definitely still need Grace of Hunters specifically, and don't underestimate the dodge on Grace of Shadow as well. So that's it from me. Thanks very much for watching. I hope it's been informative. I hope it's helped, and just let me know how it's going for you. Thanks very much.